The meeting for the school board for August 14th is done. You think? Just a little extra. We need to stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have to approve our agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? Need a recommendation, please.
Madam President, I recommend to the board to approve the agenda.
Need a motion? Second? Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. The next item on our agenda is the superintendent's report, Mr. Austin.
Madam President, I have two items this evening, superintendent's report. First of all, I've asked our Director of Plant Maintenance, Mr. Jerry White, to attend today. I know on behalf of the board, y'all had mentioned this too, we want to thank him and his team for all their hard work, not only starting the school year, but the main reason because last Thursday and Friday, these guys really went the extra mile to help us out at Hernando Hills Elementary School. Remember, there was a portion of Hernando that was under a boil water alert. It was something that we were concerned. We didn't know for sure if we were under it or not, but we took the precautions as if we were. And not only did Kroger step in and donate 1,700 bottled waters, but also Jerry White and his team went the extra mile to make sure that we were able to have a regular school day even under those circumstances. Mr. White, if you could introduce your team that you have here with you today so we can thank everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Austin. It was quite a couple of days, but we had everything kind of in order and everybody had a job to do and everybody carried it out like they should, and we got through the deal. Mr. Sam Hall here is assistant director, as you know, down there, and he was in charge. He was our point guy at the office. He's the one that contacted Kroger and got the water for us, and the guy's name was Michael Story at Kroger that helped us out down there. We really appreciate his help. And by the time I got to the office, they already had the water secured for the day, and we had our plan in place of how we were going to work the day. Mr. Jerry Booth is the area manager out there, and he was our point guy at the school. Kevin Steele is the maintenance guy out there, and he was helping Mr. Booth at the school, and we covered all of the water fountains, cut all the water off to the sinks, and they had that taken care of pretty quickly before the children got there, and there wasn't any chance of anything happening there. And as I said, Mr. Hall kept in contact. He was running it from the office. He kept in contact with the water department and kept us in tune to what was going on. First day wasn't too awful bad. We got the water delivered after we got it secured. We pulled some other guys from our bunch and had them deliver the water, and then we actually delivered it to the classrooms and to the cafeteria for their lunch deal and had that all set for them. So it went pretty smoothly. The second day on Friday is when it got rough. We lost the pressure out there, and as I was getting ready to shut down the bathrooms, Mr. Hall was on constant contact with the water department. They opened up two valves, one from South Haven and one from Olive Branch, and that fed water into us. The pressure did come back up within about 15 minutes to save a lot of problems on the deal. So everybody did a really good job on it. Mr. Chase had transportation on standby with the buses in case we had to transport the children. We had some good plans in place, and even with Mr. Austin, I don't know how you did it, but you got the notice out to the parents before anything hit social media, I think, which is a blessing within itself. It saved me a ton of phone calls. But anyway, everybody, this is one of those deals where the job just went perfectly, and most of the time, or a lot of times, especially like in construction stuff and all, when we get through with the job, we sit down and we say, okay, what went wrong and how can we prevent this from happening the next time we do it? But we didn't have to have that meeting on this one. This one went about as good as it could. And I think the main reason that it did was because of the communication that we had from the top to the bottom in this district, and also the communication that Mr. Hall had between the water department and feeding back to us. So everything went really well, so thank you.
Right. Thank you and your team. It was definitely all hands on deck last Thursday and Friday as we made through that. Mr. Chase, we appreciate you coordinating that effort. And on behalf of the board, I visited Kroger this weekend and thanked Michael Story personally for the donation he had there. And so also Ms. Gilder, Principal of Hernando Hills, did an excellent job of coordinating everything there on campus. So job well done. And the second part, a very special part of our board meeting, the most special part of our board meeting this evening, we have got a student with us at the last graduation that we had in May, the DeSoto Central graduation. The board members and I talked afterwards, and we said that we looked forward to recognizing a member of the senior class that was unable to attend that night. And we are here this evening, and we are very fortunate that this soon that we are able to recognize this student. And we've got Mr. Cliff Johnston, the principal of DeSoto Central High School. If you'll start coming forward. I also see we have teachers and counselors in attendance from DeSoto Central High School. Mr. Johnston will tell us all about this very special young man.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for having us on this special day. Mr. Austin said Brandon was not able to attend our graduation in May. A few weeks before our graduation on May 9th, he was involved in an automobile crash. He was airlifted to the med, and after days in the med, he showed tremendous progress, and he was transferred to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, where every day it was just amazing the doctors and physicians with his progress. And I kept up with his dad, his father and sister and brother, and who was here today, and kept up with him through text and social media. And I got the text that he was coming home on August 1st. So that was an exciting time. I said, well, can I come see him? We're not going to be back till late, so I'm going to come see him the next day. But his father brought him to school on the 2nd, and I took him into our faculty meeting to a standing ovation. And such a blessing to be able to do this today. And also the tremendous support from the community, all other schools, and just the Team DCS concept, everybody came together for the thoughts and prayers and supporting Brandon during this time. He's such a tremendous young man with a bright future ahead of him, and just honored to be here today presenting his diploma. His sister actually accepted his diploma for his graduation, but honored to present him with his diploma today. Brandon, please come up.
Can I get a picture with the board? Board members asking. Love to get a picture. When we get done, I will get a picture of Brandon and his teachers and counselors also.
Dad, come on. You are, I know you are a happy man, aren't you, sir? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you want to get in the picture too?
No, I'm fine.
All right, very good.
It's picture day. Right. Back. Three, me and Brandon. So we get him doing that. And we have to be the first one there. Yes. Yes.
I know Mr. Different.
I forgot my job description. I need one of
Thank you again.
Brandon, on behalf of the board, congratulations again. Teachers and counselors, we appreciate y'all coming out today. And Mr. White, we appreciate your group. Y'all are welcome to stay for the business, but if you would like to go, now would be a great time to head out. Just up to you, huh? There you go. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Good job. Thank you. Thank y'all. That concludes the superintendent's report.
We now have our attorney's report.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chairman, I have a contract issue, 3 potential litigation matters to discuss with the board, and a personnel matter, all of which needs to be discussed in executive session.
The approval of the minutes is our next item. I need a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of August 2nd, 2018.
Second? No second. Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's passed. The next item up will be our consent agenda. We have items A through X. Are there any changes that anyone has at this time? I need a recommendation from Mr. Olson.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda.
Motion for items A through X.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. The new business is our next item. We have bids. It's a rebid for copy paper.
Yes, ma'am. Bids were open on August the 6th for copy paper rebid for the district. We asked for 20-pound weight and 24-pound paper bids. Those bids came back and they were more than $10 per case, more than what we paid the prior year. So what we decided to do is reject all of those bids with your permission and just purchase from the state contractor price.
I need a motion.
Madam President, I recommend to the board to approve the rejection of all bids and to purchase off the state contract price for the copy paper.
Now I need a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. The next bid will be RFP, Safety Sanitation System and Services.
Yes, ma'am, bids were open on August the 2nd for safety sanitation system and services. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from SFSPAC.
Recommendation,
Madam President, I recommend the board to accept the lowest and best bid from SFSPAC.
I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. The next item is emergency purchase, South Haven High School. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am, we asked for an emergency purchase order to connect the South Haven High School athletic fields to the city of South Haven water. In the past, they've used the well that's on campus, but every 2 years, because of the wear and tear, that well goes out, and we're paying probably around $11,000 to get a new well. It was cheaper for us just to connect to the city's water, and the need for the well won't be there.
Recommendation,
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the emergency purchase for South Haven High School.
I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's passed. The next is a request to withdraw a bid from Best Chance Incorporated. Please.
Yes, ma'am. Just like we mentioned about the paper earlier, the paper products, the prices are just going up. Mr. Chance sent a letter in asking if he could draw his bid because of the increase in price from his distributor. And so we're asking your approval to withdraw that bid.
Recommendation,
Madam President, I recommend to the board to approve the request for the bid to be withdrawn.
I'd like to have a motion on that one, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Our next item is a revised, board policy IHF graduation requirements this week.
Yes, ma'am. We are not requesting a change to the actual graduation requirements, but we are revising our policy to streamline it. As the Mississippi Department of Education adds new classes and new options for courses to their handbook, it requires us to come back before the board every time. So what we would like to do is to streamline our policy and then provide access to the options for those courses. And so that it would not require revision every time the state board added a course.
Recommendation,
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy IHF for graduation requirements.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion is passed. The next item is personnel, Mr. Alexander.
Yes, ma'am. The personnel packet this evening, pages 1 through 7 are recommendations. Say 10 are personnel changes. Page 11 is a memo on employees who have not been awarded Mississippi Educator license to date. They'll be paid a license substitute pay of $65 a day. And then also you have those that have a license out of the area that they're teaching though, and that will be license substitute pay at $112 per hour. It's the beginning of the year, so the list is quite lengthy, but I will say in a few days of the deadline to now, about a fourth of those have posted now. Page 12 is a memo for myself on contingency contracts. Requesting the board issue contingency contracts to the following teachers on that list who hold a valid Mississippi Educator license but are waiting on head endorsements. And I will say about half of those have posted them. So, page 13 is a memo from Ms. Hallmark, the Director of Child Nutrition. They've contacted the YMCA and providing students after-school program with snacks. This school year, 8 of the 21 after-school program sites are eligible to transition to a meal program. We provide more meal components to the students participating. It will be the same time direct after school. It will require food service staff to prepare and serve the students during the program. DeSoto staff will not receive overtime for working the program. Page 14 is a memo for myself on the junior ROTC instructor salary correction we made for the 18-19 school year for Mr. Herman. The salary was established per the National Defense Authorization Act. Juniority instructors also received the supplement in addition to the salary. The correct salary is on that one. Pages 15 and 16 are start dates with special education that were in areas that we're asking to pay those employees that started at that time. There was some transition, stayed with a new director, new bookkeeper. And then the final page is moving a positive behavioral specialist from 190 to 200 days from here on out, and that will put that position in line with all of our other positive behavior specialists.
Recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. We have residency appeal, Mr. Kohler.
We do have a couple issues to see in the executive session.
We have student discipline, Mr. Finley.
Madam Chairman, we have a student discipline matter to address in executive session.
Same. We need our motion to go out of our session and go into our executive session. I need a motion.
I make a motion that we consider going into executive session for the 3 attorneys report, the litigation, the contract, 3 litigation, the personnel matter, and the residency and the discipline.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's passed. Mr. Chase will come back out and let you know what we're saying. So,